everybody, DCT here. After a great win versus Saints, I want to talk about that a little bit, but first, how about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys? Cowboys shut out Drew Brees and the Saints. The best team in the NFL. The best team in the NFL. To 0 points in the first half. 0. A goose egg. Drew Brees started 0-4 for passing for the first time ever. Ever! Saints have been averaging 34.7 points a game, I believe. How about a massive versus the Cowboys? How about a massive 10? 10 full points. How about that? Okay. Cowboys played them great. Yes, Dak had, I believe, 2 fumbles. It's hard to not have any fumbles. Getting sacked 7 times a damn game. To any team. Any team. If you don't have at least 1 fumble and 7 or 8 sacks and 12 hits, you're in my book the best quarterback in the NFL. No matter what. 'Cause 7 sacks. Our offensive line gave up. 7. Not all those were Prescott's fault. But it's all his fault, right? That's how we're going to play it. What about the Saints when Drew Brees fumbled? That's his O-line's fault because you can't give up a sack to Drew Brees. Well, when our O-line gives up a sack to the best quarterback in the NFC East by far, and he fumbles once. That's his fault. Then he fumbles twice. That's all his fault. Dak had over 270 yards. Drew Brees had less than 120 passing yards. I think he had 111 passing yards to Dak's 274. Drew Brees was, I think, 18 for 28. Dak was 24 for 28. Dak had I think it was an 18 completion streak, longest in Cowboys history. No interceptions. A touchdown to Zeke. Carson Wentz had 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions versus the Saints. And a loss. Dak had a touchdown, no interceptions, and a win versus the New Orleans Saints. So don't come out here and tell me that Carson Wentz is better than Dak. Because he ain't. There is no statistic, I think, that proves that Wentz is better than Dak. Wentz should be blowing people's minds that he's that much better than Dak. Because Wentz, 1st round draft pick, top 5. Dak, 4th round draft pick. You see the margin there. You see the margin. Dak wasn't even supposed to start. Dak was barely supposed to be a backup. Dak was probably supposed to get cut. But then Romo goes down. And then Braden, who did we have at quarterback? I'm trying to go through all the bad quarterback. Kellen Moore went down. Dak had to step up. And took him to a 13-3 record. That's pretty good. And then we lost a rigged playoff game. I'm going to say that because illegal participation in the huddle for Bryce Butler. Dak was over here. Bryce was over here. Dak is in charge of the huddles, not Bryce. Okay. The holding call on David Irving at the end of the game where Aaron Rodgers completed the pass of the year. Okay. Well, that pass interference, that the ball was 30 or 20 yards over the guy's head, that it wouldn't have even mattered if he ain't an eligible receiver, then it doesn't matter. And he wasn't, so it shouldn't matter. That should have been a pick. Okay. All right. Okay. We should have won that game. We lost to the Falcons, and I know that. All right. Then in 17, Dak loses 2 All-Pro offensive linemen. Jason Witten's starting to go on the downhill. He was still great. Dez could not catch. Led the league in drops. 9-7. Oh, also losing Ezekiel Elliott. He went 9-7. Okay. That's pretty good for losing all that. Then 2018. 3-7. 3-5. No Dez. No Witten. Didn't have those 2 all-pro offensive linemen. We were giving up 7 sacks a game. 3-5. Gets Amari Cooper. 4-5. 5-5. They're no good. They don't deserve anything. They're 5-5. 6-5. They're a 6-5 team. They aren't any good. Plays the New Orleans Saints and wins. 7-5. Okay. All right. I rest my case. Dak is the best quarterback in the NFC East, beating Drew Brees last night. Drew Brees had 1 touchdown and 1 interception. 170-something yards. Or not even 170 yards. Not even 120 yards. The Cowboys won. We ain't getting any credit. It's all the refs' fault. Do you realize that the Cowboys had way more penalties and way more penalty yardage than the Saints did? But that helmet to helmet, well, they face masked Dak and didn't call that one. Then they face masked him again and called that one because they said the face mask before that was to cancel out the helmet to helmet. All right. Pass interference. Oh, yeah, that's right. So many pass interference calls on Eli Apple that they didn't call. Holding on both sides. It was bad for both sides. I'm going to put it that way. It was bad, so it was a fair win. And if you can't accept they won fair and square, then don't even be in here. The Cowboys didn't cheat, and the Saints both didn't cheat. Neither one of them cheated. The refs were just awful for both sides. But I'd say it was not awful. I'd say it was 50-50. That was the biggest upset of my life, and I've never been more excited to be a Cowboy fan. Not once. Not in 2016 when, hey, Zeke led the league in rushing. I'm excited. I was excited then, and the Cowboys made the play. I was excited. I'd say the only time I was this excited, 2014, when we beat the Lions. Because that was our first playoff win, and I forget how long. But we beat the Saints. Stephen A. Smith went through 90% of his little spiel about the Cowboys and said, they're a good team, gotta give credit to them. But they still suck. He couldn't even make it through a whole segment without saying something negative about the Cowboys, even though they beat the Saints. He said it was going to be a beatdown and an ass-whooping for the Dallas Cowboys. They ain't going to win nothing. It's going to be a 50-point blow. Where's that 50 points now, Stephen A. Smith? Where is it? Show me. Show me. That leads me to my next person. Oh, Shannon Sharp. Cowboys going to lose. Ain't going to do good. Dak ain't going to be good. Dak's a bust. This, and this. It's going to be a closer game. It ain't going to be 50 points. But the Saints are going to win. He gave us proper respect today on Undisputed. Thank you, Shannon Sharp. Thank you. But then he went back and said, they still ain't winning no division. Who's going to beat us? The 5-6 Eagles? The ones that are hopefully about to be 6-6? And then 6-7. Because they ain't going to win versus a hot boys team. The hot boys are back in town. Dak's lighting it up. Zeke's lighting it up. Amari's lighting it up. Who isn't lighting it up? The O-line, that's about it. I'm thinking we're going to get Tavon Austin back. Cole Beasley did have a sprained ankle, but I'm thinking we're going to get Tavon Austin, Cole Beasley, David Irvin. Who else? Malik Collins, Tyron Smith, all back at 100%. So I think we're going to be able to beat down on the Eagles again and sweep them. Get me the broom. Actually, it's right over there in the corner. I can see it. And I see a little pile of dirt. I think that's the Eagles. I think we're going to win. We just beat the Saints. The most incredible win I've witnessed. How about them Cowboys? I am sitting back and enjoying this on I'm going to call it a bye week because it really is. I mean, we get an extra, let's see, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, about 4 days off extra. Hey, 4 ish extra days, 3.5 to 4 extra days of rest than the Eagles, that's pretty good. And I like that. I like being off for a couple extra days. I don't want to be off in the playoffs because, hey, if we get hot and start rolling and then go into the playoffs, sitting back, hey, we just had a first round bye, we're good. I don't want that because we're going to be relaxed and then lose. I want us to come out firing out of the regular season, firing into the postseason, firing into the Super Bowl. I don't think we're going to make it to the Super Bowl, but we beat the Saints. That is a hell of a start to a Super Bowl run. I think we're one O-lineman away because that O-line that gave up 7 sacks to Dak Prescott, or probably 12, now that I think about it, because we had the ones down there by the goal line. That wasn't any good. So, I'm thinking around more like 10 or 11, maybe 12. Cameron Fleming trying hard, but the Saints do have a good pass rush. I'd like to point that out with Demario Davis. I really wanted him. But I love the tackling Dutchman. Howling at the Wolves. He used to hunt wolves, Leighton Vander Esch. He's going to be hunting some birds this week. He's going to be hunting for birds. Then the next week, he's going to be hunting horses. He's going to be hunting them colts. Then he's hunting Pirates and we're hunting Bucks. Then he's going to be hunting down the Giants to win the NFC East. Then it's looking like he's going to hunt some Bears, some Vikings, some Saints, some Rams. He's going to be Ram hunting. How about them Cowboys? This is the most energy I've had in a while, and I love it. We still have to improve on the offense. Eat crow. Anybody who picked against us, eat it. Right in front of me, right now. You better be, because Cowboys are winning the division, winning the NFC East. Take that, Eagles. We're coming for you, and we're coming hard and strong and fast. You ain't gonna like it. Zeke's gonna win the rushing title this year. Props up to Kareem Hunt. I'm sorry about him. I really like him as a player, but after what happened, bye. Saquon ain't gonna win the rushing title. Todd Gurley, oh, he's got a pretty easy one versus the Eagles. He's about the only one I'm worried about. Because we shut down Alvin Kamara. The Saints' #1 rush defense didn't put up so great against Dak and Zeke running the ball. They gave up 22 rushing yards to Dak and 76 to Zeke. That's over 90 yards rushing. They usually give up 71. Zeke gonna feast on Bird next week. If we can get Tyron Smith back. Now, let me remind you. Tyron Smith and Zach Martin and Xavier Su'a-Filo were not even close to 100%. Zach Martin Tyron Smith didn't play. Xavier probably wasn't going to play, but he did. And Zach Martin probably wasn't, but he did. The Great Wall of Dallas is the D-line now. But it's going to be back to the offensive line, and I'm going to love it when Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Xavier Su'a-Filo, Lyle Collins, and, some guy by the name of Joe Looney comes back. That's going to be a monster O-line when we are healthy. We're going to finish off the season right. We got a 4-game win streak going. Let's not blow it. I'll see you guys later. Great win, Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Cowboy Nation. Who dat Nation? Cowboy Nation. I'll see you guys later. Peace off.